everybody? I'm RJ of The Nerdy Brew, and here on this channel we talk TV, movies, and everything in between, all while drinking a cup of coffee. Now, if you like one of those things or all of those things, why don't you consider subscribing, and hit that notification bell, and becoming a fellow Brewster. So today, fellow Brewsters, we are reviewing A Quiet Place 2, and the movie stars Emily Blunt, Noah Jupe, Cillian Murphy, Millicent Simmons, written and directed by John Krasinski. Jim Harper, baby! So, the premise of the movie, that it is immediately after the events of the first movie. And I must say that The Quiet Place 1 was my favorite movie of 2018. I just want to get that out the way. So, it is immediately after, and after those events of finding out the frequency, and minor spoilers, and destroying their home and escaping that one alien that came that, they hunt by sound. They find the frequency, but they cause a lot of disruption at their home, so they have to flee, and they have the new baby, and they're getting ready to go. So they have to venture out into the world, leaving their stronghold of their home that was protected by their father Lee, who was played by John Krasinski. And after those events, they go out into the wilderness and the wonder of how this dystopian world is, to find out it's not only aliens that they need to be cautious of or aware of, but also there's people out there that are also looking for themselves. So they have to deal with not only being hunted by the aliens, but the fact that there are people who are concerned with their self-preservation, and with their self-preservation comes a lot of traps and
Fred, I think I've read every magazine in your house. What's that?
No, don't!
Traps Illustrated? Freddy!
I read it for the articles.
Traps. So while they're on their venture of trying to look for safety, because it was established in the first movie that there were other survivors, and they all made signals to let them know that where they were at, due to having smoke signals and a fire. So they go to the direction of the closest one, and it comes to find out that it was a friend of theirs, who is Emmett, played by Cillian Murphy of the Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby of the Peaky Blinders. So we see earlier, there's a flashback at the start of the movie, because I'm giving the premise, but at the start of the movie, there was the day one ground zero invasion that happened, that did start off with John Krasinski, and how everyone gets ransacked and don't know how to deal with this alien attack. And then the movie jumps forward to present day, and that's how you get the backstory of Emmett, knowing his relationship with the Abbott family. So he's like, look, he meets them, he had traps, he wounds them, he has them stranded there, but he's like, look, from our familiarity and the past that we have, you can stay for a day, but my life is my life that I'm trying to fix, and I can't do that. So then at some point in the movie, he has a strong fortitude, but there are from events earlier, there is an alien that has came, and with the alien that came, they're just locked down, fortified in his lair. But supplies are low. Not only that supplies are low, the daughter from the first movie, who happens to be deaf, she wanders out because she has clues and ideas that there is more out there. There's safety, there's a boat. So that is her objective. But Emily Blunt is like, nah, I'm trying to stick together. Even for the sake of this situation, I need my family together. Please, Cillian Murphy, Thomas Shelby, go and get my daughter, will you? So he reluctantly goes to go get her. And then her, following a map that she's found in her clues that she developed, she's on her way to this boat that she believes is a safe haven. So while she goes there on this on her journey, she is not aware of the dangers. She thinks it's gonna be a venture to get there, but not aware of what's around her because she happens to be deaf. So that brings a lot of suspense throughout the movie. Cillian Murphy meets up with her, and in meeting up with her, they have a different dynamic where they are reluctant to be with one another. He wants to get back. He wants to be safe, and she doesn't. It's not that she wants to be safe, but she's looking for her salvation. So she is definitely being forward thinking and forward moving and looking for her salvation for her and her family. So after that, there's a lot of things that happen in between the movie. They meet other people. There's a bad group of people that they have to deal with, but not only that, they have to deal with the aliens as well. And then not only dealing with a bad group of people, still being chased by these aliens, there is a safe haven. And that leads to the third act of the movie, which comes to be a climax to discover certain things that wraps up the movie very successfully. And throughout the movie that you can see this development and kinship and camaraderie between Cillian Murphy and Millicent Simmons, the deaf daughter. And all in all, that is really the plot of the movie. And I just excluded a lot of details because it's way more deeper and nuanced than what I presented. But I will say, I absolutely love this movie. This is my thoughts. I love this movie just as much. I'm not gonna say just as much as the first one. The first one took me by storm, and not only that, I have more attachment to that movie being a father, and their dynamic of Jim. His name is not Jim in the movie, it's Lee. With Lee having odds with his daughter, I'm not in that place yet. My daughter is still growing, but just her coming into herself and just knowing that at the end of the day, you're always gonna love your family. So I just love that that lesson that they applied in that movie. But taking this movie as a great sequel, great continuation, the pacing still's the same, but what they do is make it a sequel to add things totally different. And there was a lot of tension and suspense in the first movie with certain things, and in this one they're very meticulous, paying attention to sound, and how they pay attention to sound is different from the perspectives of the environment, the atmosphere, through the daughter who is deaf, and then they also show the perspective of the aliens as well. And just the fact of things that were mentioned, like dealing with water in the first movie, they apply it in this movie as well. Emily Blunt has her own adventure that she has to go on. The son has his own situation that he has to go on. So everyone, Cillian Murphy and the daughter, have their adventure that is the main plot of the movie. But everyone is utilizing their own spaces to be on screen, and it is a rhyme and reason for it. What else did I love about this movie? The cinematography in this movie, when it came to directing from John Krasinski, just the shots that he had, showing the destruction and devastation of the world, set the mood where it was very lived in, authentic, and it felt that you could feel the woe within the scene and the atmosphere that was going on. There was, just along with the camera work and the styling and the things that he did with the aliens and their sound, he still had a lot of tension, And once again, with the sound, there was music, there was out music, there was crescendos and there wasn't crescendos, and it was very Hitchcockian of how he just had the mood and the pacing of the movie, and I loved it. I loved it just as much, or not just as much, but I just felt like this was a great continuation. And they end the movie where it could be a third one. I didn't need a second one for the first one, but I was still happy to be thrown into the world. And with that being said, you know, these are everything that I like about it and my thoughts. With that being said, I give this grade a 9.8. Very high up there. There are very little things that I can definitely not harp on like that. You know what I'm saying? Not every movie is perfect, but I'm just going off of my feelings and how much I love that movie. There was one thing that happened that I felt like was idiotic, but at the end of it, I saw what it did for character development. And there was actually this one scene, before I go, I already gave him my grade, but there was this one scene of wrenching heartbreak and devastation that was just very effective, and you was just able to feel that. And just like what it did in the first movie, the movie was able to bring emotional high points and feels and allow you to be along with the ride of how everyone else was feeling inside the movie, and that's what makes a good movie. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments box below. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. More videos to come. I'm happy that you guys are here. I'm very appreciative that you're here. But once again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me, follow KotchGod down in our social medias, wherever that you may find it. And more stuff to come on the channel. And I took time to not do this video because of procrastination. But I want you to be you, do you, see the bigger picture. Have a fantastic day because you deserve it. This is that channel. Peace.